So this is gonna be my first rant on this channel. I'm not usually a guy that gets, I guess you can say, mad or angry, but I've been noticing some things in the community that I feel like I need to address in this short rant video. Out of one second. Okay, yeah. I hate people. Well, okay. I hate people who think they've watched a series when they were little, think they know everything about it. Okay. Um, Case in point, I think the easiest example for me is definitely Dragon Ball. Yu Yu Hakusho and Kenshin can also work their way in there. Okay? I hate people who, and I'll use Dragon Ball as an example, who think that because they watch a Dragon Ball, well, I can't say I hate people, but because they think they watched Dragon Ball as a kid when they were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it was, I hate people like that who think because they watched it during on Toonami, they think they know everything about the series, and then they're able to make statements or opinions, which there's no problem, but are not able to fully back it up correctly. Okay, and I can give you an example. I'm not gonna throw names out here. Well, this particular name I won't throw out, but there was somebody on Skype who messaged me saying that he felt I gave too much credit to Dragon Ball and I was praising it for all the wrong things. And that's fine, you know. I didn't get mad at him. I was just, I if people think Dragon Ball is a bad series, I'm not. You're not going to see me bad over it. It's the same for Yu Yu Hakusho, for Rurouni Kenshin, for Cowboy Bebop, for Samurai Champloo, for Wolf's Rain, for Wolf Guy, any series. And this guy would then went on to like list his reasons and, well, not his reasons, should I say. I list his claims, saying that he felt he didn't feel. He said Dragon Ball is a very simple plot with very simple characters. Um, he said that he preferred the original Dragon Ball to Z because he was just a clusterfuck in his opinion. Then I asked for his reasons, and he then went on to say, "Oh, no one really has character depth, and the plot is so damn simple because all it is you just gotta wait for Goku to come in and save the day and beat the final villain." Comments like that really irk me because then I asked him, when was the last time you rewatched or reread Dragon Ball? And he said when I was a kid. So then I messaged him telling him, then you clearly don't know what you're talking about. And then I listed the reasons to show him like all the different, even though Dragon Ball does have simple characters, some of the more developed and complex ones. I showed him how the plot wasn't very simple, how it definitely did have plot development, how it had a plot development in the sense that there was a good foundation for the story to stretch from. There were good plot twists also. And I went on for like a 10-minute tirade, right? And pretty much I'm going to ask you guys the same thing. You guys, not just my subscribers, because I guarantee you half the people that watch this video are not going to be able to answer the following questions, okay? Just because you watched Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z doesn't mean you know everything about the series, okay? For instance, I bet you half of the people who are watching this vid, they can't tell me how Krillin beat the Cyberman. They can't tell me how Dodoria died. They can't tell me what happened between the time Android 19 died and when Dr. Gero activated the androids. They can't tell me that. They can't tell me how the fight between Zara and Vegeta went. They can't tell me the different effects that the Kais had on Buu, or the role the Kais and the Kais and Buu fight had, like what it did to each other. They can't tell me that. They can't tell me 3 distinct attacks that were used in the fight between Vegito and Buu. They can't tell me how Mercenary Tao was beaten. They can't tell me who Boss Rabbit was and what his little mini story arc was. They can't tell me the entire Fortune Teller Baba arc, how it went. They can't tell me all the different fights in the 22nd World Tournament except maybe for Goku versus Tien and Goku versus Krillin, but that's it. And they certainly can't tell me how the training that Goku and Krillin went through, they can't tell me how it went when they were training with Master Roshi. You see what I'm saying? If you can answer these following questions without going back or reading the wiki or watching Team 4 Star or rewatching or rereading the series, kudos to you because you know what you're talking about. If you have to do one of these few things to to try and remember what's happened, good for you, but make sure you don't make statements about stuff you don't know what you're talking about. Just be it's like me saying because I watched Yu Yu Hakusho when I was a kid or Rurouni Kenshin as a kid, I know everything about it. No, I didn't. I didn't remember everything about Hakusho and Kenshin. I didn't remember. And this is partly due to Cartoon Network because they cut it off around I think it was Sensui, but I don't remember. I don't remember Sensui at all. I didn't remember Sensui at all. I didn't remember Yomi at all. Nothing about Chapter Black or Three Kings. I only remember Toguro. And even though Kenshin did play, and in Kenshin's case, even though it did play the first half, the only thing I remember was Shishio and Anji. Now, mind you, I only learned about some of the other things dealing with Hakusho and Kenshin like due to my time here on YouTube. Um, of course, due to the anime community, what happened in Chapter Black, and I've known about what's happened in Chapter Black and Kenshin for about 3 years, I'd say, maybe a little more than that. But I really didn't know what happened in depth. So what did I do? I go back and I rewatch the series. In fact, I just finished rewatching Hakusho today. I finished at episode 112. I remember things now. Now I know things that I probably didn't know back then, like Kuwabara having exceptional spiritual awareness. Same thing with Shizuru. You see what I'm saying? I also did. I mean, Chapter Black. In the case of Chapter Black, I didn't know what Kitos and Kaitos and Yanas, what their territories were, what their abilities were. I didn't remember one single thing about Amanuma, who is the game master, or Seaman, also known as Mitari, or the sniper battle. The only thing that I rewatched from about Chapter Black in the last 2 years was probably the last fight with Sensui. That's why I know some things about it, but I never knew the full story. And that's why I never really made outlandish remarks. Well, I won't say I won't say outlandish remarks. I never made statements dealing with Chapter Black and Yu Yu Hakusho in general too much. Same thing with Kenshin. I mean, I'm only on episode 23 in terms of rewatching Kenshin. I'm almost at the Kyoto arc. I don't. I mean, half all the stuff that I've been rewatching for Kenshin, I wouldn't have been able to tell you a couple years ago. And I think what I'm trying to get at over here is that before making a judgment on a series, especially an older series, just make sure you know what you're talking about, okay? And I think this especially holds true in Dragon Ball's case, because you can't make comments like Dragon Ball is better than Dragon Ball Z without knowing exactly what's happened in Dragon Ball. You can't say everyone is so simplistic because you just think you know what's happening. Or you can't say that the characters are not that good because you think you know what's happening. Or that the plot is so damn simple because you think you know what's happening. I bet some of the guys who are watching this video, you guys didn't know Goku was a country hick. I bet you guys didn't know Flight was originally from the Crane School, Bukujutsu as it's known. It originated in Tien and Chaozu's Master Shen School. I bet you guys didn't even know that Gohan and Krillin were instrumental in beating Gohan, or not Gohan, Ginyu. You guys couldn't tell me how the fight with 16 and Cell went. What were the exact moves? But you guys can tell me how the fight with Sanji and Jiabura went, or how the fight with Yusuke and Toguro went, or how the fight with you see what I'm saying? I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not bad for you guys to know that, and I think because One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, whatever current manga series is out there, it's been newer, so you guys tend to remember more than older series. But especially when and like I said, I think Dragon Ball is the main victim of this. Just because you watched it when you were a kid, and when you compare it to newer series, you can't just say this series is better than this because of that. And I'm not gonna go back and rewatch it and make sure I'm right, or at least confirm it's right because I watched it when I was a kid. That's called being ignorant, and it's called using nostalgia as an excuse. You see what I'm saying? I mean, again, in Kenshin's case, I didn't even know who Hiko Seijiro was until 3 years ago. And even right now, I don't know the full story arc behind him. That's why I'm rewatching Kenshin. But I'm not going to go, especially on a live stream, and say Hiko Seijiro, oh yeah. Well, To be fair, I think I have said that once or twice. But that's just because of from what I've seen. I haven't seen the full story. Maybe I'm getting a little butthurt over here. Who knows? But if you guys don't know what you guys are talking about, please don't say anything about it. Especially in Dragon Ball's case, because there have been so many statements just targeting Dragon Ball, and I blame live streams for that because everyone can join in on that and just say what they feel and what they please at that time. For instance, I got ragged for saying Zarbon is one of the best henchmen of all time, but they're not going to tell me why. I've had 3 people PM me about that. I told them why, and they haven't replied back. You see what I'm saying? So especially if you guys are referencing an older series, especially an older series, don't think just because you watched it when you were a kid that you know what you're talking about. Take the nostalgia goggles off, go back and rewatch or reread it or whatever, then come back and tell me if what you said originally was true, because it isn't. Know your stuff. That's all I'm saying. And things like Roshi is a cliche old man who likes titties. Bitch, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. But that's it for me. 11-minute rant. Really, this was my first rant on this channel. And my Toriko review will be out after this. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.